Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Chewbacca from Star Wars. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpie. So if you want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. So for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us roaring. Get it? Roar. Okay. Anyway. Ooh, I'm already going way too big. I can see it. I can see it. And this is why it helps to sketch a skeletal frame into what you're doing, because I could see that I was going way too big. I want to though. It's Chewbacca, you know. I want to go big, but I've got to wrangle it in a little bit, because I guess one way to look at it is, as big as I want to make him, he's still a person, you know, still a person in the costume, and I have to remember that. So as monstrous as I want to make him, and huge and fantastic, I got to remember that it's a normal size. Well, I mean, Peter Mayhew and I don't know the new guy's name, but they're you know, they're taller than the average person, but they're not giants. Well, I guess they are. You know what? I keep contradicting myself every time I say they're not, but they are. But they are, but they're not. But they, you know what? Let's not worry about that. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so here's going to be the real trick to this, is what are we going to ink in? Because, you know, a color is going to take care of a lot of it, but you know, we got to ink something in, but we don't want to ink in everything, you know? It's like we've got to allow for the fact that we're not drawing in every single hair, you know? We are kind of getting away with not having to do a lot on the arms, you know, and basically hiding a lot of stuff, you know, but you know, we got to put something in. You know, we have to draw lines, but not all of them, and that's going to be the trick, is trying to figure out what lines to draw and which ones not to. So I also have to try to figure out how to make it look like he's holding his pistol without drawing everything. Okay, so there you go. I'll draw the fingers like this. And I'm not going to draw every line of the bowcaster. I know it kind of sounds like I'm cheating though, because every time I keep saying something, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to do this, and why are you here? You know? It's like, well, I got to give you something to draw. So okay, so that's going to work for that. And I think I'm also just trying to not overthink the hairs. Like I was saying, that I want to draw some stuff for you guys, but not everything, and not every single hair. So, see, I'm gonna put his elbow back like this. Let's see. If I put his bowcaster. So yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit more time with this sketch, just to make sure I get enough of it in so it looks like, you know, A, it looks like Chewbacca, and B, it looks like he's actually holding it. So, okay, so if I put his hand right there, that'll put his elbow back here like this, I'll give him his shoulder like this, and I can give him his head like this. Okay, all right, I think that's going to work. So let me draw a few of his toes like that. So again, I just got to throw in a few details to make sure it looks right. And then I can cover with hair. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay, and I guess I also got to try to make him not look like Bigfoot. You know, that's the other trick. Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay. All right. Now I gotta draw. I gotta figure out his face. Let's see if I got a good picture of his face. I don't have one like in this position, so let me see what I can do. Let's see. How about? Let's see. I gotta draw. I also got to think of it this way too. This is a good way to think about not overthinking it. Is that I've got to draw him like a man in a costume. You know. Ooh, snarling mouth. Let's do that. Let's see if I can pull that off. But yeah, since you know, technically it's a guy in a costume, I have to, proportion-wise, I have to make it look like a guy wearing a costume. Okay, so sorry, I went quiet there, and I talked about this before, that when I go quiet is because I'm concentrating. So I try not to, but it happens, you know? Okay, like that. I just did it again. I start concentrating. And I guess here's going to be the real trick, is how to make it look like not a huge dome head, you know? Like how do I make him Chewbacca? What makes him Chewbacca? Like that. That's not too bad. I'm actually pretty close. Not dead on, you know, it could be a little bit better. I'm going to erase a little bit and try to do it one more time. There we go. A little thinner. Okay. Ooh, there's a trick. There's part of it, is that I wasn't bringing it around enough. Okay, there we go. Again, I just said we're not drawing all the hairs, but that's kind of almost the secret right there. Ooh, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, I'm gonna go with it. I'm very happy with where I am. How's yours coming out? Awesome. So let me erase some of these lines, just a little bit, just because I've got it, you know, a little dark, and I want the Sharpie to stand out, not the pencil sketch. And so I want to erase enough that I can still see it, but it won't stand out over the Sharpie. Okay. All right, I like that. I like that. Okay, let's go with this. Let's just go with this. So let's welcome all the people that skipped over to this section. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for watching any part of this. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but I'm going to be using the pen quite a bit on this one because we're going to do some fine detail, but not everything. So I've sketched the entire thing out and erased a lot of it, so it's just a ghost of an image, and I'm going to start with a Sharpie pen. Now what I talked about in the sketch is that I'm not going to be drawing every single hairline. Color is going to take care of a lot of that, but we got to put something in. We got to put a lot in, actually, but I just want to let you know that it's going to be touch and go, and we'll see where we are. So since I've sketched the entire thing out and I know where we are, I'm going to start off with the eyes and just kind of draw the top of the lid like this. see if I've got them level to where the head is. You know, I want to make sure they're at the right spot. Looks good to me, so I'm going to go ahead and draw the pupils. Get them kind of big, or the retinas, I guess. There's the pupils. Okay, so here's going to be the trick. I got to try to figure out how to do this, and I think I'm going to thicken up his lines around his eyes. And normally I don't draw the lines under the eyes because it bleeds too much and it disappears, but I kind of want it with Chewbacca. He's got some really dark eyes, but I just want to be careful that this doesn't bleed is what I've been trying to do. So I think that's pretty good, and I think that'll get us a good place to start, and I can start to build off of that. So I'm going to draw his nose real fast. Make sure I got his nostrils as wide as I want them. Then draw his little Chewbacca nose. And it's going to be colored in black, but I'm going to do that with color. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay, and so he's got kind of a mustache too, so I got to try to figure out how to do that. Let's draw those edges like this, and then I'm going to draw the mouth, and I've got him snarling. You know, the old Chewbacca growl. And let's go ahead and draw some of his teeth. Not all of them, just a lot of them. Just to show off his what he's got going on in there. Okay, something like that. And we got to draw the insides, the little tiny ones. Like that. And I won't worry about anything else in there. Like color will hide everything else. So I'm going to leave that like it is. So here comes the trick of trying to figure out the lines that I want to put into this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw his hairline and then build out to that. That way that'll give me start-stop points, and I'll know if I'm liking where I am. So I'm going to start right here just because I've already sketched it and I know the shape of it. Like that. Okay, so see, that's working. That's working for me. Because what I want to do, the reason I did stuff like that is because I'm going to come in and I'm going to do a few lines, you know, a few hairlines like this, but not all of them, because like I said, I want to do a lot with color. I just have to pick and choose my battles, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay. And there you go. Kind of do something like this just to kind of play around with some hairlines. Okay, and these are coming out kind of thick, so I'm gonna have to thin out some of them. Kind of play around with a few stray hairs, so to speak, because it's not perfect, you know. But I'm not going to do all of them. Like I said, I'm gonna leave color to do a lot of this. But I am going to start to thicken these up too, because the other thing about it is I'm going to switch over to the other Sharpie too, see what I can pull off that way. And that's a very thick Sharpie. So I'm going to kind of play around with mirroring the thickness of that Sharpie. He's got kind of a mustache too, that's why I was kind of playing with that. And so see, I can kind of get away with not drawing all the hairlines, and again leaving a lot to color. But I also have to be careful because again, these Sharpies are pretty thick. So as much as you know, it was exciting when I was drawing the hairlines with the pencil, they're not all coming out that thin, you know. So I got to, like I was saying before, pick and choose my battles, decide where I want to go, and what lines I want to draw. Let's see. It feels like I need one over here, so I'm gonna do something like that just to thin out his face, you know, like that. Okay, that's good. That's good. So let's see. So I'm starting to thicken these lines up out here, so I'm going to thicken these and go to this. But I do have his belt I got to worry about over there too, so let's give him just a little bit of a chin, so to speak. Something like that. There, okay, yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. So I'm going to thicken this up. There we go. Something like that. Okay, that's good. That's great. What's funny is I keep saying that. I was like, oh, that's great. That's perfect. And walking away. But then I come back and do a few more. Like, what kind of there's no convictions, you know? I keep going back on my word. But I like where that is. I'm really happy with that right now. So I'm going to switch over to the other Sharpie. And I'm going to see what I can do with the big fat one now. All right. So I'm going to draw his bandolier just because I've got it sketched out, so I know where it is. And I think I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the little cases with the thinner Sharpie just for a little contrast. Thick and thin, you know? Let's see. And then I'll do the other edge with the big fat Sharpie. So, you know, it should be longer than this, but this is what it is. Something like that, okay? Ooh, almost messed up my Sharpie. All right, so I'm gonna draw the edge of the bandolier, just kind of going in like this. All right, so that'll give me that edge. And so now, again, I'm gonna play with some hairlines, but not all of them. So I gotta be careful here. Let's see. So I got his arm over like this. Let's see, this is where it's gonna get tricky. That I wanna draw hair, but not all of it, you know? And I want to, like, that's a huge looking muscle. So I gotta kind of wrangle that in with the hairline and see what I can do to make it look more like hair, you know? Something like that. There we go. That's doing it. What I'm really going to concentrate on is the edges, like his hair muscles, or the edges of his arms. Hair muscles, his edges of his arms to guide where his muscles are, you know? If that helps you. What I'm trying to say. Okay, and again, I said I wasn't going to draw all the lines, but I don't know. You just got to get suckered in. You get pulled into the funness of Chewbacca. Okay, so again, I'm going to draw his shoulder over here like this. And let's see, his hand is pretty much covered with fur. So there's not a lot I can do here. I'm gonna go, let's put the gun in, and that'll help us to where the hand is. Okay? Even though I'm starting to draw lines. And I just said, let me do something else. I'm gonna do something different. Again, not sticking to my convictions. But sometimes you get on a roll like I just did here, and I kinda wanna add some more hairs, you know? Like that. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so let's keep going. So I'm gonna draw his gun, and he's got kind of a, let's see how I can do this. It's kind of a, let's see. The top view is kind of weird, so I'm just gonna do it as best I can. I'm just gonna eyeball it, okay? And then we'll build on this. So I'm kind of going by the drawing, but I'm also not, you know? So, you know, sorry if it's not perfect. that's okay. Okay, and again, a lot of it's going to be covered in color, so, well, not covered, but taken care of with color. So there's only so much we can do anyway. You see also there's a hairline, so that's why I wanted to stop right there to show you that we have a lot of it covered up. Okay, so what about, let's do some body hair, just a few of them. Like that. Again, like I said, we don't want to do all of them because it'll start to look funny. And plus, we can do some awesome, amazing stuff with color that I think we can allow ourselves just a little bit. Okay. So here I'm going to draw one end going down like this, just to get my edge, and then I'm going to draw his fingers because I do have his fingers showing up. And they are kind of wrapped around the underside here, like that. And then I've got his thumb over here on this side, into his hand, but again, covered in hair. So there's only so much I'm going to put in there. So let me see if I can do the other end like this, something like that. Okay. We're going to draw this in there where it's disappearing. And so now I got to draw the edge of his bowcaster. Okay, so I'm going to do something like this. And then I can draw the round balls. Same thing over here. And it's okay if it doesn't come out exactly like it. See, look at that. Look how big that end came out compared to that. That's okay. That is all right. And there's the bow going across, but let's do it with the Sharpie. Let's do it. Well, of course, it's all with the Sharpie. With the thin Sharpie is what I meant. All right, something like that. Okay. So let's play around with this hair a little bit more. And so I'm going to be drawing like the edge of his arm here. I'm going to thicken it up because it's going to go into his leg, and I kind of want to define the edges. Okay, that came out a little too dirty there on this end, like a little too many lines, but that's okay. Again, it's just giving us an edge between his leg that I'm about to do. And so same thing here, his hands are just kind of covered up with hair on this side, so we don't have to worry too much about what you can see. But I do want to define an edge, so I'm going to make this thicker like that. See, we kind of got away with getting away with not drawing stuff, which I know is not what you want to do. You're not here to not draw. You're here to draw, But we're getting away with how much fur is over his hand, right? Okay. So now I'm going to play around with the big Sharpie again. I'm going to follow these edges, just kind of play around with his hip. And like I was saying before, I'm just kind of playing around with where the edges are, and then I'm going to come back with the tinier Sharpie and follow through with detail. And I know this looks kind of weird, but that's all we can do right now. Just kind of follow the edges and then come back with detail. Okay, so just kind of following what I did up here. Again, we're not drawing everything. It's funny, it's like I keep saying that like you're doing it, but obviously it's me that keeps drawing all these lines. So I'm more having to tell myself than anything else that don't draw all the hairs, you know? Just draw some, and color will take care of the rest. Color will hide a lot, or color will add accent, or ruin it, you know? Who knows? We'll see what happens. But the point is, I'm not drawing all the hairs right now, even though it seems like I'm drawing a lot more than I thought. I'm just experimenting is what I'm doing. Really, I'll be honest with you. So we'll say he's got a knee right there. So we'll just kind of play around with hairlines like this. Okay, and see, I'm going to draw a toe over here, going up into that. Lower toe like this, and then they just kind of disappear into the fur. Okay, not bad, not bad. How's yours coming out? Are you happy with yours? Okay, so same thing, draw a toe over here, just kind of hide it with hair. This is kind of the hardest part for me, is the edge. You know, this is easy to flow, even though it may not be perfect, but I'm not having to draw an edge, you know? When it comes to the edges, that's when I get mad. I'm like, that doesn't look right. It should be hair flowing. But I'm happy with this. This came out really awesome. And this was just an experiment. I had no idea where I was going to go with it, whether it was going to work out. I just thought I'd do it and see what happens. So congratulations if you did that too, because it's always good to try and experiment and do different things, you know? All right. Okay, I say voila. I say we take care of the rest with color, and I say we're done. I hope yours came out awesome. I love mine. That is Chewbacca from Star Wars. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.